Is the curling iron your mic?
Yeah, but imagine I burned myself on the first episode. Is this thing on? Hey guys, welcome to our channel. This is Rachel and Rachel. I like that we're both in uniform because at Groupie Tour, I had an entire conversation with a friend that was like, so do you wear like a uniform to work? And I said, I acted like Big Dick, right? I said, I have a hair color named after me. I don't have dress code.
When you were at a festy, you were like, let's talk about my job.
I did talk about my job a lot at the festival. I was showing everyone my extension. My hair was braided, and so no one could believe it. I will say, and Sam's hair really was, it went through the test, like her natural hair, because it was so hot and humid out there. Okay, so let's just tell the people who we are and what we're doing here today. Go ahead. Do you want to start, sweetie? We're curling our hair right now, but this is my friend Rachel.
What is my real name?
Alyssa Lorraine. Oh, so.
It is. Well,
I
like
know.
my government name.
Mine is Kesha. My mom will love that. She'll love to hear that on here. My future name.
I hope your mom doesn't watch this.
My mom's definitely going to watch this. She already asked me where to find the link.
Oh no!
Because I posted about it on my Instagram today. So excited. Here's the thing. We've been wanting to do a podcast for a while because we both work in the beauty industry on, honestly, kind of completely different sides. Alyssa is behind the chair. She's a creator. She's got a 2-year. She is...
You have to bring in a 2-year. Hi, Rebecca would like to announce that she's in more debt than I am.
I was gonna say, that's all it means.
But like, I'm kind of a big deal because last night
You're a pretty big deal. You are a big deal, period. And I do tell you that all the
I
time.
had a viral Instagram, so no one talked to me.
That is pretty fucking epic.
Not really. I
So here's the deal.
don't know about social media. What the?
We both are on. We're both on. I don't know, a journey to not just like, I don't know, share some stories, share some tips, share some tricks, but also just, I don't know, yap with you guys a little bit. Like, we're just always yapping and people always ask for more, and so here we are just giving more. And here's one thing I'm going to tell you guys about joining our podcast here, which technically we'll decide on a name right now. Let's vote on the podcast for the podcast name.
Not your average gals.
Not your average. I wanted to put Yentas, but she didn't like that.
I don't even know what a yenta is.
So here's what I'm mad about. Like, instead of just hitting Google, right? Like, the things that we get the most upset about people for, my husband probably hears me yell, be more solution-oriented so many times a day. And yet, here you are, shutting down the one name for the podcast that I liked because you just didn't want to fucking Google it.
I'm literally on a podcast. How am I going to Google?
Oh, you're on the podcast right now. Where have you been for weeks? A yenta is like a gossiper, like a yap, the neighborhood gossips, you know? Like the old ladies who kind of look through your windows a little bit too much.
I think that you should introduce me and I should introduce you.
Okay. I'm into it. Okay, you go first.
This is Rebecca. And she'll like to tell you that she doesn't have a job title because there's some people who just need a fucking job title for everything.
Or chart.
And I'm like, listen, could
Too
you
much,
just,
too
like,
soon, sorry.
Like, what? I don't know. What kind of title do you want? Like, what would it be? She does all the marketing, all the designing, a lot of the customer relation. And we're like small. Talk about small business. That's us.
Hey, and we look the same, so that's
How
fun
many
too.
of us are there? Maybe 6?
Me, you, Brandy, Emmy,
Amanda,
Yeah.
Tabs,
Amanda Tabs, we got a couple.
Nevaeh.
But I would say like 12
That's-
max.
That's 6.
Is that 6? Well, I was saying 12 max, including the educators that come. The title thing, I just think my job is too many different things.
I think that it's like
Assistant to the regional manager. Dude, I'm honored to be your Dwight, honestly. I really am.
I just want you to know that I've been over here like I'm so ugly, and then I realized I don't have makeup on.
You're gorgy. And we look a lot alike, I think, right now, too, especially with my dark hair back.
Somebody told me yesterday, who's that girl that looks like you?
Someone in your salon?
She's like, she was at Gabe's party. I said, was she over in the corner? Yeah.
How dare you? On the internet. Oh, I did curl it at 420. I'm so sorry. I forgot to change it back. Crispy chicken. It's okay, guys. I get new strands whenever I want.
Says who?
Whenever I want. My boss. I don't know. Sometimes I think it is you. Sometimes it's Brandy. Sometimes it's Vince. And sometimes it's Nonners. I really don't know. But that's the thing about being in a small business.
We have to start over on your intro. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
This is Rebecca. She loves a title. I don't have one for her. So it's going to be whatever fits that day. Sometimes it's marketing. Sometimes it's sales. Sometimes it's whatever I
Educating,
and
business.
need you need to have people who are going to grow with you, and that's who she is. I don't have a better intro because it's the truth. And every time she says, "What's my title?" I just want to do this.
First of all, you hold on. You just said something so nice. I was smiling, and then I immediately got irritated. I'm having a hot flash at 7 a.m. The issue with that is I don't actually ask for a title. I could care less. My title is assistant to the regional manager, which is you. Like, that is what I
Okay,
think my title is.
you're going to edit that part out. Here we go. Hi,
I'm starting fresh.
this
Hey.
is, this is Rebecca. I'm going to give her world's greatest intro.
Don't with my phone. All right, the government
It's
name.
the
Go ahead.
assistant to the regional manager, who's also me, and really wears whatever hat fits that day. It could be educating, it could be marketing, it could be sales, it could be designing, it could be graphics, it could be info dumping. It could really be whatever I decide it's going to be. So the title for that is See You at the Office.
I love my intro. Thanks, Mom. So cute. And I say mom as I am clearly your much younger daughter.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Alyssa, not your average. Here's what I'll say about this little wicked cute witch. I do joke a lot, and you guys will hear us joke on this podcast a lot, but I think for the first intro, I want to be a little bit legitimate and just say that I've had the time of my life. I think why we work so well together is because there are no positions like you're just in charge, and I just love working for you. And we have the same mission, which is to teach people and help them do it better and make more sense and be able to serve their clients better and whatever else. So your title is Queen of My Tushy. Over it.
I want a new title.
You can't have one. Mine was assistant to the regional manager, and you're my regional manager, which means you're in charge of my tush. So today
We're putting our makeup on.
we're putting our makeup on. And here's the thing with the makeup. So we're going to be yapping while we do this. And I'm going to be also doing a makeup lesson. Because I have been saying, I don't know, how long have I known you now?
Like 3 years. And all you ever do is a makeup lesson for other people.
First of all, I've said that I would do it for a really long time. And then I've done it in one class. I think I did it for one signature class, not even a Supreme class. Sorry, Kathy, if you're watching. Look at my fucking wrinkles. This is going to be perfect to show the product. Look what I have ready too.
Here's this.
So while we are just like yapping, I'm going to teach her how to do her makeup too. Because I have been promising a lesson for a really long time. And I was a professional makeup artist for like 10 years. So sometimes I still will do some spotlighting for my friends, for events, for weddings. I love to do her.
I want it to be natural makeup. I want it to be no makeup.
You don't want it to look like me. I had a bride say that to me once. She was like, I don't care what you do as long as I don't look like you. And I was like, well, I hope you have the worst day ever now. And guess what I did? Made her look stunning. She was welcome. What an absolute witch. I was like, as long as I don't do, I was like, you can carry this makeup if you wanted, sweetie. So Alyssa right now, how we know each other now is she is my boss for strands, extensions, not your average strands. But we are launching something new and I'm really excited about it. This is kind of just like a her and I thing. She's drawing hers right now. I'm putting step 1 on. Now, this is skin plunge, so you get nice and juicy and wet. And here's what most people get wrong about makeup, and you're gonna be a brat about this, as you always are. Because here's the thing, I used to do Alyssa's makeup for all of the events, and she looked like a perfect angel, baby queen, gorgy. And then she just all of a sudden became a witch one day, decided she didn't want me to do it anymore. Really, she felt bad and just like didn't want me to have to get up early to do it, I think, but I love doing it. So she's doing it herself, and she does a medium good job. I'll give you that. When we started! Also, sometimes and you know that sometimes you just rush through the steps.
I also just need you to know that when I was in high school, everyone asked me to do their makeup, not you.
Okay, 1985 grandma. Guys, if you could guess how much older than me she is, you can have $100. Okay, so now that I look like an ice skating rink, this is step 1. The packaging is going to be way better this, and I would love to show you a sample, but she sold it out at her last class that I wasn't at, that she didn't invite me to. So here's my little sample, like a pea-sized amount.
250 are in packaging right now.
Yay!
Is that
okay?
Or freeze?
This is freeze now. So I already have the other one on my face, skin plunge.
I want you to know
freeze them.
Plan on creating skincare. Here's what happened. We were wrinkly.
Honestly. And here's the thing. Here's how innovation happens, right? If you guys stay... I hope you guys know that this is like maybe one of the first things I've created like this from scratch in this way, and it is like a really exciting thing, and I'm excited to be a part of it in every single way. If you don't buy it and you're not nice to us about it, it's really bad. I might not have a job anymore. I'm gonna let this quote unquote freeze. And really what I'm focusing on for me is because I'm like pretty in between Botox. I'm like 4 months deep. And so I'm
Saving money.
saving money. I'm putting a little extra on my forehead too. Here's the thing. You can get a little bit of a white cast with it if you do too much, but that's okay because that's really what the plunge is for. And I still have that glass skin underneath. I mean, I'm sorry. Hello. Here's where I also like to do it, and you can't really see them anymore because I did it the first time.
Smoker lines.
Yeah, that.
I can smoke, but I got bad lip filler.
And that, honestly.
Let me tell you this story.
Okay.
There was this other person who did Botox, and I'm like, I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna show her that salons come together because it's a different salon. So I'm gonna go down there and get lip filler because why wouldn't I? I could support her. First of all, it was awful. She didn't even have a refrigerator. She had it in a tiny igloo cooler. Not safe.
Time out.
Container.
How dare you? Like, okay, at what point
And she
during this
overfilled
process?
my lips, and now I'll forever have to do this.
At what point during that process were you like, I shouldn't let her put anything into my face?
Stephanie passed out. Because I'm not going to go in there alone. I had to bring a friend.
Rachel, it's too far gone at that point.
Stephanie was like, I don't feel good.
God, Stephanie. R.I.P. Okay, so my skin has dried for like, I don't know, a minute. Do you lotion on top of yours? I do a little lotion on top of mine.
No, because I feel like it breaks up my freeze. I put lotion underneath all of it. Because
You do?
the plunge, you told me the plunge will lock in my skincare, and I was listening.
The plunge does lock in your skincare. I just didn't do any today. But you know what? I don't really like to put skincare on top of it either, so you're right. Yeah, do a little spritzy of Hypo Cocoa. If you also get like a white cast from it, which is normal. The point of the products, basically product one is kind of like a ceramide bond. So basically you could think of step one as like an Aquaphor or like a Cicaplast balm, kind of like a ceramide repair cream. But this one's gonna be more intensive, but it's not going to be as slick. So like if you were to put Aquaphor all over your whole face and then try to put your makeup on, it's gonna be like yes, so it's kind of like a pasty texture. You take out the tiniest amount. You really don't need a lot. You emulsify it between your hands. You put that on first. I like to give each step at least a minute or two so it can fully lock in everything I'm trying to do with it. But I think just for different results, let's just see. So you did your moisture underneath. I didn't do any moisture underneath. Like I did just my toner. So let's just see what happens. I'm kind of intrigued. I'm not going to put lotion on top. Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone has different steps and different ways of doing their makeup. I like to start with the eyes because if I get shit underneath, I want to be able to wipe it away. I don't want to have to put so much makeup on underneath that I feel like I have like pounds and pounds. I'm going to take a grippy primer. Your face is already like a little bit tacky from that stuff, but you want it to be even stickier. Do you have a primer, sis? Guys, I want you to know she has more than enough at home.
I don't like primer. I've never really liked primer.
For the three of you who are tuned in. And you know what's crazy? She doesn't like primer, but you know what she does like? When I do her makeup. And you know what else she likes about it? How long it stays. So you want it to be like, yeah, that's pretty good. I like it to have a little bit of a spit.
There's gradue on that. You're going to get pimples. Take it off.
Okay, that is a good way. You can do that at home, absolutely. So I like to start with the eyes. You have lashes. What are you thinking for your eye look today? You just want something like easy, natural?
Shimmer.
You want a shimmer? So here's what I like to do before anything else.
I also don't have eyeshadow primer.
I don't use eyeshadow primer. I use my grippy primer on my eyes.
Well, I don't have that either.
That's okay. Do you have concealer? Pro tip, take a teeny bit of concealer.
On the back of your hand.
Yep, and then pat it on your lid. For really anyone, like whenever you're doing primer on the eye, you always want to set it a little bit before you do shadow. Otherwise, it's going to like stick in those creases. Here's the thing. I'm usually like, we're on the go. I do bring my giant makeup bag and I just got back from a festival. So here's what I have like that I'm working with still. So I just take a little powder puff, any little translucent powder, get the tiniest little amount and do it to the back of your hand. Get the excess off. And then I just like to go right over what I just put down.
Rachel, I don't have a sponge or a powder puff.
That's okay. If you're like Alyssa and you're just incredibly unprepared. For
Dude, I didn't mean.
Dude, you could use anything. You could use a brush. You could use that's absolutely fine. This is really just to set it so it doesn't zoom. So nothing really matters. I'm also just using my camera. I'm not really using a mirror, so I'm hoping that this turns out really well. And then any excess just get off, but you just want it to feel like smooth when you go over it and not sticky. So that way it's got the staying power, but it's not in like the grip, but it's not got the crease. What I like to do just to make life easy too, and I do this on almost all of my clients when I do makeup or myself, I take some sort of cream bronzer, whatever I'm using on my face, and an eyeshadow brush. This is what is this? Makeup by Mario. I love Makeup by Mario. I kind of like to take a little bit of a denser, or excuse me, a little bit of a fluffier brush. This one is a Morphe M504.
Oh, right.
Brushes,
504. Perfect.
well, is it ColourPop? For brushes, I feel like complexion brushes, I feel like I maybe spend a little bit more on, but some of my e.l.f. ones are my favorite.
What am I doing with my cream bronzer?
Okay, so again, I take whatever I'm going to use on my face later, and I just get like a teeny tiny little amount, and then I put that right in my crease on both sides. You can kind of make it look messy. Excess on the back here. And then I just kind of like windshield that through. And I actually bring it like decently far out. I also have huge eyes, right? Not everyone has huge eyes. You also have huge eyes.
I was like,
So-
mine are tiny.
So small.
Yes, people are like, your eyes are so big. Are they black?
People are like,
Looking at them,
are
bro.
you not your average Mafia girl?
Are you in the Mafia?
I'm like, yeah. And so that way it's just kind of like a little bit diffused. And then I also like to bring it down my nose right here, like just in a natural kind of sweeping way. So that way I have like a natural
I'm
contour.
not cream bronzer, so I'm using this Morphe bronzer stick that's cream.
Yeah, anything that's cream is fine. And again, I like to bring mine out a little bit, but if you have kind of like a hooded eye, you might just want to go more like directly on your
If you're
lid.
above 32, you're gonna go.
Yeah, and also if you are my age plus, 35 plus, if there's any wrinkles, just go like that. And that's why I like to put the shadow back on, because basically you're creating kind of like a nice clean even base with the primer, and then you want to go back in and make it look natural. No makeup has a lot of steps, and I always tell Alyssa this. It's not that her makeup looks bad ever. She always looks perfect. However,
Steps.
the difference between when I do it versus when she does it is the steps. And I said that to her. I was like, you're actually not doing anything wrong. You're just speeding through it, and you're not taking your time and layering, and that is what makes it look good. But now I can do it in like 25 to 30 minutes, but it just takes a second to be able to do that.
I did bring something that we both have.
Okay, what is it? Oh, Mario! I have my matte one, so I'll just use this one to start, and then I'll use a different shimmer because I think it's in the other room. So I'm going to take that same brush, and I'm going to do a color that is pretty similar. So anytime you put a cream down, you want to set it with a powder. That's what's going to give you the longevity without the
I'm gonna pick whatever colors I want and put all over.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be your base shadow. So for me, like this was my bronzer color, so I'm going to use this guy right here. I'm just going to go over what I did already.
Putting your eyeshadow on first feels so weird.
And I'll show you why too. I think it saves a lot of time in the long run, but it's a little bit awkward for people at first. Because also your makeup kind of looks like shit until you're done, which I get, but I promise it looks good. When you're dealing with powders on top of creams too, if you ever get that like splotchiness underneath, like on your face or in your eye or wherever, you want to take the powder and you want to press it where you want it to go first. So if you can see, I'm doing like tiny little stamps. You can do it on the other side. And then same with this shadow. I'm going to bring it down the side of my nose and basically do that contour and start it already.
This is a Sephora PQT.
You're a pea cutie. And then again, I like to kind of go out on my eyes like this because I'm going kind of for a lifted look. So that's just the tea. And then again, you'll see me. I'll take the I like to make it easy really for this kind of stuff. So I'll take that same shadow. I did it a little bit with the cream too. And I'll kind of contour like under the center of my lip, the top of my lip, again, the base of my contour on the sides of my nose. This is Alyssa's problem. She doesn't follow anything I do. She just skips ahead. She's like, la, 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 sissy, la. And she's like, you just went so many steps. I'm like, no, you added 100. Then I take that same product and I like to go under the eye too.
That's so scary.
What feels scary about it? Like poking yourself in the eye, or that it's going to look bad?
Darkening under your eye.
Yeah. And that's why I like to do the shadow first and then the concealer second. And again, I'm doing this with that cream, but I just keep dipping from my cream to powder. A lot of people will tell you not to do that. With certain things you don't want to, but with certain things it's fine. So that is a pretty good base for the eyes. I'm into it. I like it. Then I'm going to take a little bit of a fluffier shadow brush. This one is POC MCO, which is probably means that it's one that that we tested when we were going to have makeup brushes at the salon that I worked at. I'm going to take with this brush, and I want it to be a little bit tinier than the other one. So as you can see in comparison, this is my first sky, a little bit chunkier. My second one, I'm going to go into like one of these lighter shades. I want it to be my skin tone. I'm a little bit tan right now. You can do this with shimmer too, though. I just happen to have my matte out. And then hit your top of your brow bone up there. And again, all this is going to do is save you work later when you're doing like your brows and everything else. I know it seems like a lot of steps.
So many. We're already like 42 steps in.
She's having a meltdown, you guys.
I am.
It's literally been 32 minutes. We've been doing makeup for maybe 14. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So now, you ready to get to the shimmer?
Yes.
Do you guys see how she talks to me? It's violent.
You're like, I want a job title.
I don't. Same kind of thing. I like to use a cream under my powder.
Again?
Well, for the shimmer, here's the thing. This step is optional. You've already primed your eyes. You don't have to do this. But I happen to have...
Yeah, I need that. What's that?
The cream version of Space Cowboy, and then the powder version too. So what I'm going to do, and I don't ever like to put these straight on my lids because this will pick up all of that powder that we just put down. Anyway, my finger. Oh, man.
Get me one of those?
Yeah, sure, honey. I'll just freaking drive to the moon.
No, for a pickup.
Don't worry, guys. I'll drive 5.5 hours and bring it to her.
No.
Okay.
You go to Sephora.com, you order Space Cowboy powder and cream, and also I need a new setting powder. And then you're like, I'll do Sephora pickup, and then you just put my card in there, and then you just pick it up.
Okay, sweetie. So I'm just ignoring you, because I'm going to just go to Sephora when I'm done with this later. And then... So... and again, this is just if you have cream. You can also do cream highlight. Like if you have a liquid highlight, you can do really anything sparkly. But again, Space Cowboy from Urban Decay, I love it. It's so pretty. And then I'm going to do the same thing on here. Sometimes I'll take a flat brush like so, and I'll wet it actually with one of my setting sprays. Or like a hydrating spray, so either like a matte plus or just anything like that. But basically, I kind of want to get it wet. So I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario setting spray. I'm going to spray that paddle part of my brush. And then while it's wet, just dip. And then same thing, you just want to press. So I'm not swiping, I'm pressing. So if you swipe, it's all going to get picked up. Gorgeous. So then eyeliner next. So I always start by tight lining. And if you have a hard time with this, you can lift up right there and go right in between those.
Extensions, asking for a friend.
What's that?
What about with my extensions?
Oh, yeah. So if you have lash extensions, you can still do that, but don't hit. See where like that is right here, that actual waterline? You want to be careful not to lift up your lash extension. So I actually will get a little bit more under it.
It's almost easier with my eye down.
This is how I do it, like on myself. I just kind of pop it right where I know it needs to go. I look down and then I just run it along. And I'm going to go on the top and smudge it out anyway. So if a little bit gets up there, it's fine. But already, lash lines much thicker. Then I like to do a little bit of a bottom situation. So for this part, I like to get my tip like real sharp when I'm right in the corner here, and I want the angle to kind of match where my nose goes. I literally just put it with the corner of the pencil like right where those two meet and gently flick up like that.
Cute.
So then once you get that little wing, then you can make it as big or as small as you want. But I like to do that so I can figure out where my natural wing should go too, because our eyes are different shapes. So you may want yours to be angled up more or less. Then I like to just connect it to the top. And I just do it in like short, tiny little stroke. And again, because I'm going to smudge out most of it.
I'm just here for support.
You're not doing eyeliner?
I did already.
This is my issue with her, you guys. Then these brushes, like these Makeup by Mario eyeliners, have these little fans on the end, which I'm obsessed with. And then I just kind of go over it and...
I have to draw my eyebrows on. I could be doing that right now.
You could be doing anything, sweetie. Except you can't because we're about to move to the face.
Your eyebrows are already done. What do you mean I can't?
Mine are just tinted.
Right, so why can't I do mine?
You can. I was just going to show you how to do the rest of her face. Do you guys like watching us fight? Like and subscribe. One time we did a leg wrestle.
I'm so good at leg wrestling. It's great.
Oh, do you want to tell them who won?
Not you.
Also, same thing with the pencil eyeliner, even though Diva Queen over there is way ahead. I take a little brush, actually, a little smudger, like so. Mine are all dirty. Sorry, I just got back from a festival. And then usually I'll take a color that matches it the best. I don't really have that plum over here. I have it somewhere, but I just take that darkest brown shadow and then I just kind of go over top of it. The thing that I learned, and it's going to sound like one of the most simple tips, is like, don't overuse the product. Janelle Geeson, who taught me how to do makeup with Aveda for one of the first classes I ever took, I used to have the hardest time with like precise lips on other people. Because like it's too much product, you're doing too much all at once. And then I realized it's kind of the same with everything. A good makeup artist is actually really just good at fixing their problems and making everything look connected and cohesive at the end, kind of like a stylist, right? Like, again, you're not necessarily just trying to fix your problems, but nothing is going to be perfect when you put it on. It's about that end and it's about that precision with the end. Okay, so this looks good, right? It looks cute, it looks fine, it looks whatever, but it's kind of like a harsh stop right under the eyes. So same thing, I take a little tiny, teeny, tiny little brush like this. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of my bronzer. This is the Skin Enhancer from Makeup by Mario. You can also just use the brown eyeshadow you used. You could use the cream one, whatever. But I'm going to go right under on that lash line too. And then see, it just looks a little bit more diffused, a little bit more like mysterious versus like such a harsh line. The same thing on the other side. And this is the shit that's the easiest to fix. I have like fallout and stuff. Like it's a little bit messier on the sides, but this is where the magic happens. And then same as everything else, if I used a cream, I like to set it with a powder. If not, whatever. But I still will take a little tiny brush, fluffy brush, stick it in my translucent powder, and I'll just use that to set under here. Now that we have this all set, if you did like darker colors, if you have a lot of fallout right here, you can take a makeup wipe, only if it's 4 a.m. skincare makeup wipe. Otherwise, you could take a Q-tip. You could take whatever. I usually use a Q-tip or just my concealer brush. So I don't really have a lot of fallout. Just a little bit of the sparkles, and that's fine for me. I'm going to take a brightener. If you don't have a brightener, it's not a big deal. I don't use a concealer and a brightener. I'll usually mix them together. This one is a little bit too light for me right now, which is why I'm going to mix them. So I'll just do like a little swoop.
Should I be using concealer?
Yeah, you should be using concealer. This is Cali Ray Hideaway, which I'm obsessed with, and this bottle has lasted me battery. It's lasted me for a minute. So then I'm taking Makeup by Mario 140 concealer, and I'm just going to mix it. You don't need a lot. Like, again, like I actually scrape it off the top, and then I put a little bit right next to it. Here's my little concoction. Bada bing, bada boom. I do this on myself. It may be unsanitary. I wouldn't do this to a client. I warm it up a little bit.
I'm leaving.
The faster it can warm up and like mesh with my body heat, the better it's going to blend onto my skin. So I like to heat it up a little bit. You could skip that step. I mix it together and I pick it up with the brush. And this is coating the brush, right? So it's going to feel like you got a ton of product there. But then you're going to pick up, again, what you have on your brush, or what you have on the back of your hand. Make sure the brush is coated evenly. And then here's the thing. A lot of people will put their concealer up way too high, which is going to bring a lot of brightness there. But actually, if you bring brightness above where the shadow falls, you can add more of a shadow. So I only put mine right below. Alyssa's speeding ahead. She doesn't care about anything. She's a client. She's a busy woman. Okay, so here's the trick with this part. You want to take a little bit of a sharper brush, or actually just get the like extra product off of your concealer brush. So like scrape, 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 scrape. I have a Z palette, but I don't know where it's at. That's usually what I'll do. I'll use the back of this actually to show you. So I'll scrape literally as much of it off as possible. And then I'm going to use the tip of my concealer end to clean this line up right here. Your face, I'm going to die. Boom.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it before. Okay, so then for me, for this part, I either do, again, I'll keep using like my kitten paw brush to blend it out, or a tiny, tiny little sponge. I'm going to use a little tiny sponge. I like one with a point, so that way I can get right up in there and blend it out exactly to match the line I want. I'm more of like an underpainting kind of gal, so that is what this is focused on, as opposed to doing everything in one layer. And that's a nice and sharp. Now for me, this is kind of where I speed through because I'm almost done. Again, I really only like the highlight to go right in this little triangle. A little bit, yeah, you look gorgeous. And then I take a little bit what's left on my hand, kind of go around where I get red. I only do 2 more things really before I set with powder. I'll take a blush stick just for ease and for speed today. And then I like to do a liquid bronzer, like a real liquid. This is Pink Honey Sheer Skin. Oh, I love this stuff, dude. I gotta get you some of this too. But it's like,
Now that I have none of these products, so I'm just gonna let you do your thing and I'm gonna do my own.
Another product I like for this is this one, the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. I'll use both. So usually I'll take the Makeup by Mario. Yeah, here we go. I have a couple of these brushes. These are my all-time favorite. They're
Smells like
F4.
sourdough bread.
I literally take the tiny side. Same thing. I will coat my brush like this.
Did you smell this ever?
Yes, and I know you think it smells weird. I think it smells so good. She's putting her foundation on. I'm just doing my underpainting finishing because I'm not going to do foundation today. So again, another thing a lot of people do, and this is something Alyssa always says too, she feels me put it a lot higher on her. It's going to be based on your face shape. Look at what you want different. This is kind of casting the shadow, right? So for me, I like this to be a little bit much.
You guys know I just have to do my own thing. I don't listen for shit.
And that's why we're just such a good pair.
I was patient for like 30 minutes.
You did a good job, and you're doing it in the layers, which is the most important thing. Now I'm being a little bit messy with it because it's coated on my brush, so I don't really need it to be perfect. It's not going to be like staining anywhere. But same thing, I take this tight end on the F4, and I'm going to place it wherever my cheekbone is. I'm going to go right above it, and I'm going to stamp. Where the inner ring of my iris is where I stop bringing this in. Otherwise, you can start getting a little muddy.
F4.
F4. And then I like to bring it up to my temple too to kind of blend that area together that we cut this.
Let me tell you that putting it on the back of your hand is probably the best tip.
Right? And you save so much. Don't you feel like you save so much product with what's left? I do my lips. I kind of I flip this side in so that that tapered point is going into my eyebrow and nose.
I have a question. If I was going to set my face with translucent powder, do I do that before or after powder bronzer and powder blush?
So, hot take. A lot of people will say do each one individually. I like to set my under eyes with translucent, and then whatever I have left on the puff, I'll put everywhere else. So I'll show you.
But then when you put my powder bronzer
over top of it and you use it to clean it up, that's also one of my favorite tricks. You ever take like a powder bronzer right after you do everything and then you feel like you have a wet streak and you're like, how did that happen to me? So I'm taking this House Labs. It has so much glitter in it from Bonnaroo, so we'll just see how this turns up. The House Labs Glassy Pitaya, and then I'm just going to go right here. And then I like to go under, and I know it looks a little bit crazy, but again, this is where for me the powder comes in. I like to put a little bit of blush on my nose and my forehead, like where the sun actually hits.
I'm finally starting to look like myself. I can't believe I was on here like an Uggy McUggin.
Okay, now powder setting. So from here, again, mine I feel like looks pretty good. The powder is going to finish it up. I'm going to take this brush that I put my concealer on with. I'm going to look up and I'm just going to do a quick little buff. As I'm doing that, grabbing the powder pop, okay? Again, back of the arm. I put the bulk of it here, and then again, anywhere I get sweaty. Now, I have my bronzer and my powder and everything like all over the place. Or my bronzer and my blush and my concealer. So I'm just taking what's left and I'm literally going everywhere. I'll leave this a little bit messy. I know some people don't like that, but now I have powder everywhere. So now I'm going to take my nose contour brush. I'm going to do boop, boop, pop, pop. I'm going to just kind of finish out this. Again, I only do the top of my bottom. And then I like to hit my under eye again. And then now I'm going to take the fluffier side of the F4 and I'm going to go in here. Swirl, tap, and then press. And then you can see where that powder line was and where that powder line was over here. By the time I'm done with this, it's all going to be gone.
I will tell you that my makeup looks gorgeous for whatever we did today.
See, she's a witch the whole time and then she looks stunning. And now you can see though, like, I don't know if you saw that list. Oh, here's one of the biggest tricks that I've ever been taught by makeup artists is when you're taking your contour powder, for some reason, this spot right here on the ear helps you look so snatched. So I always lift it up on my clients, especially brides for pictures. But you can see because I went over everything with translucent powder first, nothing has like a harsh line. Same thing's going to happen if I wanted to put more powder blush on. But since I'm pretty much done, I'm just going to take like a real fluffy brush. I'm going to get the rest of it off. This is another part that I feel like a lot of people skip out on. For longevity. If you're not super sweaty or you don't have pictures, you don't need longevity, you don't have to do this, but pressed powder is going to be one of your best friends. So I take the Huda Beauty and Cherry Blossom Press. The new one, the old one was ass. Absolutely garbage.
My list is getting big.
Now I know this looks crazy. This is the part that I let sit for, again, like maybe another minute. And then that is kind of what you're looking at. I'm going to take world's tiniest bit of highlighter, some Makeup by Mario. I love this Fenty one, this What About It, What a Brat, whatever. I take that same fluffy brush. Just do a little because this shit is pigmented as hell.
You're lying to me that it's Fenty when it's really ColourPop.
And then that is that. If you want, you could do a little bit more bronzer, but I'm pretty good after that. Then I take like a hydrating setting spray. So again, the Makeup by Mario one. If you want this shit to stay. You got to hit it hard. Oh, yeah, you didn't even use setting powder. So I like to spray it till it's basically fat, juicy, and wet. Then I just pick a little nude while my face is drying. And then that is the tea. The last thing I would do is take a Q-tip and just wipe off my eyebrows because I just tinted them. My world's cutest Q-tip jar. Again, on my client. And then I just wet them and I take it off. And then that's that. Once I'm all done and all said and done, if I really, really, really want it to last, like if I am doing bridal or if I have something I have to do all day, then I'm going to take this bad boy. I also really like that powder melt spray. This is from One Size by Patrick Starr. And if you set with a lot of powder, which when you're doing like a look that will give you a little bit more longevity, you're going to set with a lot of powder. This gets rid of the powder and makes your skin look like this. And then this is the one I sprayed on you that smells like hairspray. Then if you want to be real cut and crisp, you could take what's left on your powder, go here, and just make sure everything is connected. And that's it. What do you think, you little witch?
I think you look beautiful.
I think you look beautiful. Look at us together. So, we want this channel to just be like little fun beauty tips. We want to show you guys our skincare. We want to talk to you guys about whatever you want to talk about and give you guys more of this kind of stuff. Normally, I would put mascara on or lashes. I kind of forgot. I think I'll just do it while we're finishing. Made by Nature. I don't even know what brand this is. Oh, this is a liquid liner, so never mind. That's not mascara. What was your biggest takeaway? Best tip? Did you have one?
I think that it's really good to watch people do it. I think it's really good to find your own way too, like not being a dick.
100%.
And like pick up the tips that you're gonna pick up because it helps. Like my eyes don't normally look like this, and neither does my bronzer. So clearly, I needed that, and I need to do it with her, even though I hate to sit. It does help me because I'm forced to, right? So when we started this, we were like, you know what I really want to do is just be able to talk to people, but you need an activity because just sitting here staring at the screen feels awkward. So you want an activity, you want something to do, you want to feel like it's teaching people, and everybody has a skill set somewhere outside of what their career is. So what well, I think about it, outside of your job, what's your skill set?
I think this is my skill set, probably. I mean, I guess it's kind of my job, but I would say this is my skill set alongside with, I know, like, vibe bringer is not really like...
Oh, that is a good title.
But don't you feel like just a little bit?
You are the vibe bringer, yes.
Thank you so much for saying that. I was hoping you would.
If you think about how to push things forward, how to grow, most people are like, I want to change, I want to grow, I'm going to set this week up for success. But like, if you look at what you already have, you're not changing that much. You're just actually finishing something you started.
Every little step forward. And I think so many people are like, I want to be where you're at. I want to have a product line. I want to do these things. Alyssa created and invented strands like out of a need because she's been doing it for so long. It was the same for me with makeup. Like I had to learn how to do my own because no one could really teach me. Also, just pro tip, if you do what I just did and get a little bit of mascara on your face, when you're all done, just let it dry completely and then it'll flick right off. But I think that is something that's really important too to know, is something that I've learned a lot from Melissa is just that work ethic that you have to do this sort of thing. Because everyone wants to do it, right? The podcasts are fun, being on stage is fun. Being a hair model for a job is pretty much like the coolest job of all time, right? But there's so much that goes into it that I think people don't see. And so I like that we can sit and do this kind of thing and show that like we don't want to only sit and be patient either, but like sometimes the benefit is there. Guys, one time Alyssa told me that I was ugly and I never forgot it.
No, I said, what if you got your hair done and I ripped it out?
Rip your hair out. And then your hand looks like this. If you did a good job, your hand should look like this. Does your hand look like this?
I wiped it off.
Okay, but at least you know in your heart that it did.
It looks a bit concealed compared to this one.
Also, wouldn't you say, too, I think that is really quick, one thing that we say to our strands clients all the time, students really, is that, like, the practice every day is what makes you fast, which is what makes you good. And so it's the same with makeup. It's the same with anything. It's the same with like having a morning routine, getting up earlier, like doing all of those things. You just kind of have to build it into your life and make it a priority. And I'm excited to kind of teach people how to do like fun, cute, early things along the way too.
What are we going to teach next time?
Here's one thing that I'll say. I don't know. Do you want more makeup? Do you want to do something hair? Because there's a lot of hair things that I wish I knew. Like you do so many cute styles. I don't know how to do those. I know my braids and that's it. I'd love to have more like in between styles.
Style, Rachel.
We could do a style class. That would be so fun.
What are you going to teach me?
No, you're going to teach me.
Oh.
How to hairstyle my hair.
All white.
it's your turn to teach me. I hope you guys like not only pick something up, but I hope you guys also maybe like some of the products, and I hope you guys like our product too.
I hope you
So
guys liked all my faces. How many times I looked at myself that I had to fix my hair 42 times.
literally stared just at myself the entire time. I was like, this is my mirror.
Very fun. All right, love y'all. See you next time, where our topic will be a hairstyle. What should it be though? What kind of hairstyle? We're gonna talk about why hairstylists do hair differently than people who aren't hairstylists.
You know what? It is so interesting too, because like just as like a starter on that topic, there is definitely like there are certain hairstylists, like certain buns, like certain go-tos, like certain cute little space buns and tails that stylists can do and just throw up, and I'm like, gosh, but I can't unless you're around me. And that's why I go 18 days in
We'll
between
do some hair tutorials and we'll just learn some stuff.
We'll learn some stuff. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time when we have a name for the podcast.
It's not your average podcast.
Okay. I hope you guys can vote on Not Your Average Podcast and love it.